Hey guys, how's it going? Orange here. Welcome to the 14th round of the career mode on the channel. And it's time for the Japanese Grand Prix around the beautiful Suzuka circuit as we once again get into our Force India for this practice session. So a little bit of an apology first because I haven't uploaded in about two weeks now or so. But this week I'm going to upload again. I've been very busy with school and also organizing an Assetto Corsa event. So that's the reason why I haven't been uploading much at all. But anyway, we are uploading now, or at least this was uploaded, so let's focus on that first. So Suzuka then, a circuit which I like very much so, especially this first sector here with all the S's. It's great to drive through there. This is my first lap then in this Force India again. So because I haven't uploaded, I also didn't really do much driving on F1 2014, so it was a little bit of a struggle again to pick up the pace, but it was fine nonetheless. A few laps and you already get into it again. So 37.4 first sector, and then coming up to this hairpin, which is a very important hairpin. You can brake very late into there. Several lines are possible through there actually. You can take a little bit more of a V line into there. Some people like to take a U line, so go wide in there and have a good exit as well. I prefer more of a V line, so brake very late, get deep into there, then cut back to the apex on the exit and straighten up the car as much as possible for the straight which is following them. Then spoon curve we just went through, and then there's a little bit of a straight here for 130R, which is obviously a fantastic corner. It used to be better in my opinion in the old days, because it was a little bit tighter, but yeah, this is cool nonetheless. It's obviously flat out, but in the race it can create some overtaking opportunities. It's always nice to go through there. So the final chicane then, and onto the straight, opening up the DRS for the run to the line. Lap time is a 142.5, so we open with that one. And then obviously you keep on going, and as you can see a little bit later into the stint I set a 42.1, which is about a 10th off. So I set a 42.0 now. Not too bad. It's actually such a good lap already that I cannot improve. Maybe I made a slight mistake. We're lap 5 here of this stint. We're gonna go yet again through this first sector. 37.0 first sector from Vettel. So that's a good time. We're currently ahead of Rosberg, but I don't see that. I don't see us being ahead of Rosberg for the rest of this session. He should overtake us soon in terms of lap time. And then now first there. 3/10 of Hamilton in the first sector, but most importantly 3/10 up on my previous time, so gained quite a bit of time in that first sector. And this first sector is actually very important to get right as well, as Hamilton has done a 40.5. Very interesting first sector with all the S's. A good front end is so important in general really around this track, but mainly in that first sector. It's really important to have a good front end here and trust in the front end of the car. Going up the spoon yet again, brake just after the one on me board, down to third gear to get a front end to turn, a little bit of oversteer on the exit, then yet again you try to go into this second spoon curve. It's a little bit of a weird one. It feels like there's a lot of camber, which there isn't really. It's hard to really reach for the apex. Usually you're a little bit off the apex, and in fact I've lost a little bit of time in that middle sector. Second off Hamilton at the end of the second sector, so the final sector to go now. Go over those curves, make sure you do not cut it. Nicely in second gear, could have been a little bit better. Up through the gears yet again, opening up the DRS then, and lap time is a 141.7, so gained a little bit of time in the final sector, which is good because it wasn't that great at all, but I wasn't happy at this moment. So we're gonna make a few changes yet again. What do? I go for the option, or am I still on prime? No, it seems like I'm on option. If I'm judging right, I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see at the. We'll have a look at the lap time, obviously, and then from there on we can see whether we are on options or not. I think I am, because looking at the clouds, it's a little bit dark, so maybe rain is expected. So I thought, you know, let's do an option stint before it's going to rain and get some laps in on them. But during this stint, you can see heavily held up by Chilton now, who was just on the apex of the corner, and then he just keeps alongside me when I'm turning in for this left-hander, which goes up the hill. So this lap is pretty much spoiled, and indeed you can see there 4/10 down, half a second down more or less, at the end of that first sector. Nonetheless, I kept on going, opening up the DRS now, but obviously it's not going to be an improvement. A lap later though, it is an improvement, 141.6. We still keep on going, entering this first corner. Fantastic corner, you swing it in there, such high speed. And you open up the second corner as much as you can, third gear through there. And then the S's start way too deep into there, even going down to third gear, so that was pretty poor. This is so important. After this corner, right now on the exit, you've got to line yourself up for this left-hander, because it is not full throttle in Force India. There's a little bit of a lift if you approach it with the wrong angle, so you've got to compromise that right-hander in order to open up this left-hander going up the hill a little bit more. It's a very interesting corner, in fact. And 9/10s up then at the end of that first sector, and a 10th up on Hamilton, so we are definitely on the option tire. Seems like that setup change I made is paying off a little bit. I mean, I didn't have a good first sector, you saw me going too deep in a few corners, but yet I'm purple in that first sector, so that is good obviously. It's always good when you make a mistake that you're purple. Coming down to the spoon curves yet again. Here we go, 4th gear this time, don't need to go down to 3rd gear because the front end is there, the grip is there. And then again reaching for that apex, get on the power then on the exit. And up to 7th gear now. And yet again approaching 130, are flat out obviously. 4 more minutes to go in this practice session and 1.1 seconds up then. And still up on Hamilton's time though, that is good. And I'm not even running in rich mixture, I believe, so I'm not showing everything I've got so far. I will do so in qualifying obviously, but still its practice is a mess up this chicane though quite heavily. You want to jump way more over those curbs. Opening up the DRS then yet again. And so 140.6, so indeed lost a little bit of time in that final sector. And in the end I decided to keep on going, entering spoon curve yet again. That was good, and reaching for this apex, hitting the apex actually that time, so that's the way you want to take it. Usually you're a little bit off the apex as I've explained before. So indeed not a rich mixture at the moment, as I said, not showing everything I've got at the moment. Let's see what we are now in terms of where we are now in terms of lap time. Well, we have 3/10s up on ourselves, 3/10s up on Hamilton. Let's see whether we can have a better final sector this time. Break out on the leaderboard, go down to 2nd gear again. You want to jump over the curb a little bit more. That was more sweet, that was better to be honest. And then once again going down this little straight, 140.1 then, 5/10s up and 4/10s up on Hamilton, so not bad at all. In the end Alonso still managed to top us with a 140.0, half a tenth quicker than us. That's pretty much it for this practice session. Hulkenberg, our teammate there, in 6th place, but I'm sure he will improve for qualifying. I'm sure a lot of people would improve for qualifying, because that's what the AI always do, you know. They always pick up some kind of pace in qualifying, which is quite a bit, and that's also the reason why I don't show everything I've got in practice yet. And in the qualifying then we are using rich mixture, yeah, because you've got to show everything you've got in the qualifying. And at the end of that first run there, I was doing quite well. I'm on the option tire or prime, I'm not sure. I think I'm actually on the option, but I extended the corner, so I backed out of that lap. And you have only one more lap now in this qualifying, which is a little bit of a pressure you've got to deal with. You've got only one more lap, and this time you cannot cut or extend any corners. Because if you do it again, you're gonna have to back out of it again, and well, you will not advance to Q2. So taking a little bit of a risk here, but hopefully it will pay off. Saving a bit of saving a set of tires as well, it might help. So coming at the end of the first sector, 6/10s up Maldonado and a 10th up on our previous lap time. So the previous first sector was quite good, but obviously I backed out of it now as I extended the corner we just went through. And again into this hairpin, braking very late there, as you can see, going a little bit too deep into there actually, but nothing too bad I would say. The session comes to an end. Maldonado at the cutoff point with 123.0. That is actually his second sector time obviously. You can't see his lap time at the moment. Hopefully we should be up on him. I think we were like 6/10s up at the end of the first sector, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem, as we just went through spoon court, then again up the gears, and I'm even in mix 1. You see that I'm not pushing, but I lost some time in the middle sector there. 4/10s now to Maldonado, as I think I am on the option. Yeah, I should be on the option. So coming through this final chicane now, you need to nail this. If you make a huge mistake here, you will not advance to Q2. But it seems all stable, still in mix 1 I believe, so taking it easy, and a 140.8, and not too bad. 14th place, but most importantly advancing to Q2. There we are then. So, getting into the next session. There we go, getting into the Force India car yet again. It's still dry. I don't think there's any rain expected for either the quali session or the race, which is usually good, but I'm not entirely sure about the race. So Q2, here we go. Having a quick look at the setup. As you can see, I was running 4-2 wings, which is maybe a little bit low on the rear, but that's usually what you want to go for with this track, I think. Lower rear means more balance to the front, and as I said, you need such a direct and quick front end. And with quick, I mean, you know, good with direction changes and very good input, especially in this first sector, what we have talked about before. The S's. So there we are then, Q2 lap. It's a little bit cloudy, but as I said, no rain predicted. The temperatures must be kind of low though, but well, that's obviously the same for everyone. So there we go, exiting the chicane and coming into the main straight, going up to mix 3, and DRS is wide open. So this is probably the first lap I'm going to use mix 3 during this whole weekend, and it's in Q2. Then obviously option tires are under the car. Entering the first corner, flying in there, then shifting down the gears for the second corner. I was a little bit too much to the inside before the corner already, which compromised my exit a little bit. And then we see Williams up front as Bottas definitely holding us up here, definitely holding us up. He's right in the middle of the racing line there. It cost us a few good tenths, maybe even half a second, if I would have nailed those couple of corners. Anyway, gonna keep on going though. We still have enough fuel, I think, and a 36.6 first sector, and then I again mess it up there in the middle, or the beginning of the middle sector. I completely messed it up, completely missed my apex, and I decided to back out of it then. So, you know, reset the mind, start over again. Sometimes a little bit difficult, you know. You don't have a lot of time here. I think the session is 12 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. Obviously there is plenty of time left to put in another lap, but if you spoil that lap as well, there's not much time left anymore to really put in a good lap, and there comes a little bit of pressure on yourself as well. So there we go then. Opening up the DRS then, yet again, 42.4. Obviously we are going to improve that, and Rosberg in the meantime has done a 138.3. So as always in this Q2 session, the AI picks up the pace as we start our second lap. Too much over the curb there, compromised the second corner. When you go over that curb there, the physics of the car changed, and it just doesn't turn in anymore. That's quite a shame to see, at least for me there on this lap. So another couple of tenths lost on this first sector, but I presume it will be quicker than the previous lap because we got heavily held up by, I think it was Bottas. So going up in mix 3 yet again. Let's see what the first sector time is this time. It's indeed 3 tenths up, even with that mistake, so not too bad. And 2 tenths down on Rosberg, and as I said, not too bad, as I turned it too early to that corner. I had to step off the wheel a few times, otherwise would have cut the corner. Coming to the hairpin right now, brake very late, down to the first gear. Let's see how this goes. Indeed braking very late, but managing to slow it down nicely, and then get hard on the power on the exit here. This little straight heading down to Spoon Curve. It's not really a straight, obviously, it has a few corners, but they are flat out, so I wouldn't really call this these a couple of corners. It's just a straight for me. First Spoon Curve, pretty well. Second one, again trying to reach for that apex, a little bit cambered, hard to reach the apex, hard on the power yet again on the exit, and then this should be a better lap. 120.3 middle sector from Rosberg, definitely not going to be that. 1.1 seconds off, in fact, but about 2 seconds up on my own 142.4, which is currently standing. So, yet again, going down the gears through the chicane. Remember, this should be a good lap because I think, as I said, it's the first time I'm using rich mixture during this weekend. And we go into the 39s then, 39.6, 1.2 seconds behind Rosberg. So quite a bit of time gained there using rich mixture, but it isn't enough to be in Q3 yet. So, well, final attempt here. Just over a minute to go. I'm only going to get 1 lap though, in order to get it right. Currently in 12th position, and the cutoff point is a 39.0, so I need to improve by 6 tenths. I know that I can improve a little bit in this first sector, as I had a pretty solid first and second corner. Now the rest of this first sector, I can improve in this middle sector, but by 6 tenths. That's quite a big gap. Let's go a little bit over the grass there. Compromises the grip a little bit here. Then you need to position yourself here, which I didn't do. Was way out of shape on the exit. Nonetheless, a decent left-hander going up the hill there, but definitely not flat out. Definitely a lift in there. Only half a tenth up. That is not great. And again, there's a Williams in front of us. That is Massa. Hopefully he gets out of the way, which he does so. And currently a tenth up on that cutoff point with Button. But our first sector is good. It's I think the second sector here, well, we lose a lot of time to the AI. See whether I can minimize the damage. But going into Q3 seems like a tough task on this circuit, which is quite a surprise, I would say. I felt pretty strong around this track after the first practice. Went pretty well. Second place. Didn't even run a rich mixture, but then again the AI, their speed just increases massively in the second qualifying. And here we see even 2/10 down, so it's not gonna be a better lap. Probably picking up a little slipstream from Button. So Button is not going to improve. He's a little bit deep to the corner. Obviously trying to give it my all now, but it doesn't look like it will be enough. Get hard on the power. 39.6 to beat. It's a 139.8 I think it was. So lost probably even more time in that final sector. That is a big disappointment to see. 6/10 down on Button then. Magnussen was out too, but our teammate with a 38.5. That is a fantastic time. So it does look like we will have quite a hard time in this race. My objective was 11th. Couldn't do that, as we have seen. But that's pretty much it for this qualifying session. Hope to see you next time when we are going to race. So I want to thank you guys for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, I would appreciate a like. Hopefully we can do something better in the race. See you later. Goodbye.